My name is Taylor McCurdy, and on camera with me today is James Henry. Very cool, very trendy, very hip, very now, as the youth would say, hey? Because gone are the days of just doing a thumbs up, because that can be offensive. Anyways, we of course are going to go and look for wildlife at some point. So let me just tell you my plan very quickly while we're here on Djuma, kind of in the central part. We're going to head in the complete opposite direction that we're looking at currently, as I thought, it might have been in my dreams, that I heard some roars, some whispers, though not quite big roars, of lions. And yesterday we were told that the S8 male and the Talamati breakaways were making their way from the Manuleti Game Reserve and hopefully heading in our direction. We have stumbled across a herd of buffalo, and it was a very fresh pile of dung that lured me into this area after the caterpillar. I was actually talking about, I wonder what happened to the buffalo from yesterday, because if you watched the sunset safari, we saw them very briefly, but then an upset elephant herded them across one of the main roads and into an area where we could not drive. So thankfully, they have popped back onto Djuma. They did a very small loop, and now some of them are starting to wake up, and the rest really couldn't care and are just going to enjoy a late start. I mean, it's 9:10 now. That's quite ridiculous. At 8:10, that was terrible. I don't know what's wrong with me at the moment. There are lots. Let me not start, because that's like for a whole nother conversation. But that is a young buffalo bull. It's going to have a scratch. Plenty of nice bendy branches with all the silver cluster leaves and bush willows around at the moment that make for the most perfect scratching posts. And can you imagine how many parasites must be on a buffalo? I'd be very itchy all the time.
Morris and I were chatting earlier on. He reckons that the Ngati pride of lions is not very far from here, because they do like to follow these buffalo and hunt them. Whenever the buffaloes are seen, it's presumed that the Ngati pride of lions is not too far. So let's hope. It is warming up, but it's still quite fresh this morning. So as we bumble on just a little bit just now, I'm sure we might just come across some sign. If we don't find them this morning, as long as we find some sign, we can always follow up this afternoon. Now we do have a vehicle that's going to join us, which is a great pleasure. Look at these buffalo. They are so big, some of them, and their horns are just so nice. A lot of them are lying down. A couple of them are standing up.
We're just looking at the skyline, which unfortunately has already lightened. It was a very, very sort of burnt amber orange color. But of course, the skyline is not empty. We have a beautiful giraffe staring right back at us, not moving much. Let's just appreciate the scene. Look at that. There's another one to the right, Davy. There we go. Yvonne, yes, stunning silhouette. There are giraffes here often. It's not too far away from Jackie's. And very, very often we come here and the giraffes are here. And they're remarkably still. They only really start to move when the sun comes up. I'm well aware that animals have they actually have the same heat sensors as us, the same CRP proteins, the same sort of biological build-up.
Giraffe! Yay! See, now I'm happy because my two goals are complete. Zebras and giraffes, the two most unique animals for me out in the bush. I wish they were together, but that's okay. It doesn't matter that they're not. At some point, if if we're patient, we will find them together. There is actually a whole journey of giraffes somewhere around the corner, but this looks like the male that's hanging around at the back, taking his time. Ooh, got an itch. Wow, look at that. He's licking himself. So that crease behind his shoulder, that's a hot spot for ticks. Look how she's staring. For the most part, it would take a lot of impact to completely malform those ossicones, but it even happens in antelopes, right? A big blow to the head when a young male is still developing his horns, still growing. That growth phase is really important. That can cause some serious problems with how the horns grow.
It's like she wants to possibly start on another part of the wildebeest. No, don't disappear. We had the most perfect visuals there. It was so beautiful. If they go flat, it is going to be a little bit tricky to see them in this grass. Oh, oh, someone else is coming. Let us see. Oh, are you a lioness? Why did I think we had a sub-adult male? I apologize, Alan. You were right. 3 lionesses. We're getting the most spectacular views here, really. They've all sort of taken turns. I've often wondered about animals, especially carnivores, and what they eat, their diet, and cleaning their teeth. I am obsessed with cleaning my teeth. I do it far too much. I do it far too often. I love it. I love to clean my teeth. But when it comes to carnivores, especially with teeth like the lioness here, how do they clean their teeth? Do they need to clean their teeth? Well, really, at the end of the day, they do, and how they do it is they just eat prey. A little bit of bone and all. So they're not necessarily bone crushers like the hyenas, but they do crunch on bones. I remember in Juma, us going on a night drive, and within 2 minutes of the night drive, we came across the Inkahumas that took down an impala with, I think it was dark mane. My heart wants to say it was dark mane or blondie. And they all just went in at once, even with the cubs. And it actually got to the point where the lionesses were picking up the cubs by the scruff of the neck and flinging them away from the sighting. They were very small. Sub-adults got pushed out. And of course, in the end, the avoca, whether it was dark mane or blondie, I can't remember, ended up pushing everyone out and taking the impala for himself. But at the start, it was just a complete feeding frenzy.
But if you did miss out on this morning, remember to check out the best bits where you can catch up with some of our favorite moments. But thank you again for watching us, and from all of us here on Safari Live. It was great chatting with you, and we'll see you a little bit later.